Los Angeles County is doing a complete overhaul of its voting experience. That's anything from when you vote, how you vote, the machines you vote on, and how they're counted.
And depending on how well it works for the county's 5.4 million voters during its 2020 election debut, voting overhauls like this may be coming across the country.
From the voter perspective, the most significant change will be more options about when and where to cast their ballot. And in fact, this facility here at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion is going to be one of our vote centers.
Any LA County resident, pre-registered or not, will be able to cast their 2020 primary vote at any of the county's strategically located vote centers, like this downtown music hall. About 250 will be up and running 10 days before California's presidential primary election day, giving residents a new 11-day voting window, including 2 weekends. The extended voting period and larger, more accessible vote centers are just two of the ways many California counties, including LA County, are trying to revolutionize the way we vote.
So you can toggle back and forth.
Residents can also expect new ballot marking and vote tallying systems.
And you can let it know you're ready to print the ballot, and it's going to come back out here.
LA County Registrar Dean Logan has been working on this upgrade for more than a decade.
Until we implement this new model in 2020. At the core of it, the equipment that the voter actually interacts with at the polling place is exactly the same as what was introduced in 1968. It's those vote recorder devices that were used for punch card voting. Wow. It's been retrofitted, and there have been changes, and certainly on the back end, the tabulation system and the scanners that we use to scan those ballots have been updated. But even those are at the end of their life cycle.
So you've got this equipment that isn't even being manufactured anymore,
right,
that only one vendor is even servicing. What are some of the ways that the county looked at trying to deal with this huge overhaul in a way that made sense?
We decided early on that we wanted to have a publicly owned system. We wanted to do this in a way that whatever we invested in, that components of that could be transferable to other jurisdictions as well.
This is the country's first publicly owned voting system. Unlike a private one, LA County owns all of the intellectual property used to develop and run this new system.
Because it's a publicly owned system, we're in a position where we can share the research, we can share the design, and we can actually share the code.
Can you tell us a little bit about whether you've heard from other states or other counties that they may be seeing this as a model that they might be able to replicate for the future?
There's a great deal of interest from other jurisdictions, both here in California as well as outside of California and even outside of the United States.
While no other county has immediate plans to use this exact system, all 58 had to upgrade their systems and vote counting processes earlier this year to plan for the 2020 election.
On top of updating the voting machines, the mandatory California changes also aim to make voting safer and tallying more transparent. All of the Golden State systems are required to use a paper ballot instead of an electronic one. Aside from eliminating any potential electronic errors or hacking issues, paper ballots also simplify audits and recounts.
That's particularly important at a time when we're still talking about, how people felt about the accuracy of the 2018 election. We need to be able to demonstrate to the public not just a good voting experience in the act of voting, but to be able to show that the outcome of that has integrity and is accurate.
After using a tablet to mark your paper ballot, LA County's system prints it for you to review before formally submitting it.
Then it comes back to our headquarters and is centrally tabulated in a physically secure environment on a system that's entirely independent of that. The electronic interface is simply to mark the ballot. So they're not counting votes and they're not retaining any of the vote cast data. It's not a redundancy. It allows us to eliminate things like overvoting and ambiguous marks that in close elections become the controversies and end up in court.
Especially for next year's primaries, speeding up the tallying process is a priority for every California registrar.
As the most populous state and the most delegate-rich, all eyes will be on California this Super Tuesday to see how the results pan out and what that might mean for the rest of the country.
But even with newer and more nimble technology available, fast final election results are not always possible, especially when it's a close race.
It takes patience, it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, if that's what's validating that every eligible vote gets counted, then that's really the way the process is supposed to work.
Ballots will be available in 12 languages at every voting station in LA County. Each is equipped with hearing and visual aids, meaning fewer people will need to self-identify as disabled and rely on assistance to cast their vote. But these types of enhancements come at a price.
Over the life of the development of this system and now the manufacturing of it, this is approaching $300 million.
Some of that went toward research and development costs to build the code. And adopting the full end-to-end system isn't the only option for other counties interested in mimicking LA County's new setup.
Some jurisdictions may be only interested in the tally portion of the system. Others may be interested in the user interface and attaching that to a different set of hardware. We've got to get it up and running in LA County first and smooth out all the wrinkles here, but I think that it is something that we're going to be able to leverage out in the electoral environment beyond LA County and
Perhaps beyond the country.
perhaps.
These changes to the voting system could cause confusion or be inconvenient for some, like those no longer able to walk to their neighborhood polling place. It's unclear how others will respond to the overhaul since it hasn't rolled out yet.